Hey, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Bukhar, Gudash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS that teach us His word. And Shalom unto the hopeful elect upon the four corners of this earth. They're trying to make it up out of here in truth and in sincerity. So this lesson that I want to bring out is going to be talking about keeping discipline. You know, the importance of keeping discipline, because being in this truth is all about discipline. You know, the word disciple comes from discipline, or it's the other way around. Is one or the other. They go hand in hand. You know, and we are disciples. You know, so keeping discipline is a very important thing. You know, because we got to keep that self control and that temperance in this truth. You know, we're constantly around things that could take us out of this truth. We're constantly around things that can make us fall. You know, but we got to constantly keep that spirit. We got to constantly keep that Holy Spirit on us. We got to constantly keep that spirit to strive to be better on us, to strive to be a man of the Lord, to strive to beat 144,000. We got to constantly keep that spirit on us, you know? So I want to start off with Hebrews chapter 12, verse 11. It says, "Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby." So yeah, no discipline in the moment is gonna feel good. You know, think about when you fast. Fasting fasting is an act of discipline. You know, you don't eat or drink whatever fast you're doing. You know, the standard is not eating or drinking for 24 hours. That's an act of discipline, because you're constantly around food. You may have to go to work. You may have to go out and do something, or you're at home and you could just make some food right then and there. But you got to keep that discipline on you to remember what you're fasting for. You know, being in this truth in general is a discipline. Going out on the highways every single week is a discipline. Making a video every single day, that's discipline. You know, giving up your life, making yourself a living sacrifice unto the Most High is discipline. Constantly, because you're constantly doing it when you could be doing something else in the world. You know, and and if you go ahead and do something else in the world, you may seem quote unquote happy with life. You know, but in those last days, the recompense that you're gonna get back is gonna be destruction. You know, and while the men of the Lord is going through it right now, while we're being that living sacrifice, while we're suffering right now in this kingdom, our reward is gonna be worth it. You know, because it says, nevertheless, afterward, it yielded the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. You know, and we're gonna get that peaceable fruit. You know, as long as we keep exercising this righteousness with fervent discipline. So here I want to get Proverbs chapter 25, verse 28. It says, "He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls." You know, so if you think about a city that's broken down, that sounds like weakness. If you think about a city that's without walls, that means that anybody could come into that city and do anything that they want. You know, and if you don't have rule over your own spirit, then you're the exact same way. You know, weak. You know, anybody can tread into your life. Any demon can come and do whatever they wish, because you don't have any rule over your own spirit. You don't have any discipline over yourself. You know, let's say you vow to yourself that you're gonna stop drinking, or you're gonna cut off on some type of food, or cut off from watching TV, anything. You know, If you take that vow, you can't go 2 3 days without doing whatever vow you take. Not eating, of course, but uh like for example, you want to start watching TV so you can get more spiritual, and that's a lifestyle change that you want to make. And you can't go 2 days, 3 days without itching to turn some TV on. Like that shows a lack of having rule over your own spirit, you know? So that's why it says he that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down, because that city is weak. That city has no stability, and it has no walls, it has no protection. Demons can come in, and any demon can hop on you and have you do, whatever it wills. So I want to get First Corinthians 9:27. It says, "But I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway." So here, I want to get the definition of that word subjection. It says, to lead away into slavery, claim as one slave. Now, that's not the definition we're going to be talking about here. We're going to be talking about the second one. Salakia. First, I'm going to get the pronunciation. I'm kind of rushing into it. Strong's G 1396.
Strong's G 1396. Delagogeo.
It says to make a slave and to treat as a slave, i.e., with severity, subject to stern and rigid discipline. So you're subjecting yourself to that stern and rigid discipline, but unto yourself. It says, "But I keep unto my body and bring it into subjection." So you're giving yourself that stern discipline. You're giving yourself those goals and things that you want to accomplish, or things that you want to hold back from. Being in this truth, you got to give yourself stern and rigid discipline. It says, "Lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway." Because if you don't have that discipline, and you call yourself preaching to other people, especially about having discipline, and you don't have discipline yourself, you're being a hypocrite. And let's get the definition of that word castaway too, just to give further edification.
Strong's G 96. Adakimos.
It says, not standing the test, not approved, properly used of metals and coins, that which does not prove itself such as it ought, unfit for, unproved, spurious, reprobate. So it says not standing the test. It says, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. So if you can't have that self-discipline, you can't have if you can't have that stern and rigid discipline, then you yourself, you can't stand the test. So that's why you got to constantly have that discipline on you. And you got to constantly make it stern and rigid. That you can't stay in this truth. You can't constantly push through in this truth if you don't give yourself that stern and rigid discipline. Because that's what this truth is about. You got to constantly discipline yourself, and nobody can do that for you but yourself. That it takes self-discipline. So, hey, with that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Bukhar, Kudash. And hey, with that, Shalom.